My name is Raja Pantham. I'm a digital marketing experience. No matter what business you are into, there is one common thread when it comes to marketing. There is one common thread which is a digital marketing. People who are doing traditional way, businesses in traditional way since last 3-4 decades also, they are thinking of digital. In early stages, we also had challenges. People don't trust this domain.
Hello everyone, my name is Anshu De, Community Manager at Startup Lanes, and today we have here a special guest with us, Mr. Raja Pantham. And sir, I would just request you to please introduce yourself.
Hi, as Anshu mentioned, my name is Raja Pantham. I'm a digital marketing experience and I come with 20 plus years of marketing experience. My domain is always sales and marketing. And I'm a coach, I'm an author, and I'm also a mentor to a couple of startups. So that's my introduction.
Great. So how did you come up with the idea of your startup?
So this startup, it's simple, Anshu. No matter what business you are into, there is one common thread when it comes to marketing. There is one common thread which is a digital marketing. If no matter what business you are into, what domain you are into, whenever you want to reach to more and more audience, and when you consider your marketing, one common thread which is digital marketing. It is required, it is being used, it is delivering results to every single industry. So we thought that's when the idea has come up. Let's say people who are doing traditional way, businesses in traditional way since last 3-4 decades also, they are thinking of digital. And there is a lack of people, lack of opportunity, lack of genuine agencies. So that's when we started our agency.
So what was the most difficult part in the early stages of your company's growth?
So in early stages, yes, as everyone has their own challenges. In early stages, we also had challenges. People don't trust this domain. Maybe because of the previous experiences, the trust factor where we had to go through people understand digital marketing and they have different perceptions about digital marketing, and some talk about they don't know their objectives, and some needs instant results, some talk about long-term brand building. So that's where we had to define what exactly this domain is and how it will be knitted to suit their requirements. So that's where we struggled, and we come up a long way. Now it's no more a challenge. It's not a challenge anymore.
That's a great answer. So what was the gap in the market which you had identified?
Oh, see, when it comes to gap, it's pretty clear, Anshu. I'll tell you. If you are a small and a medium enterprise or a small and medium business owner, no matter what business you're into, the common thing that digital marketing works for you. I mean, you in terms, a business owner knows that a digital marketing works for them. Initially, in the first step, they try by doing everything by their own. And they realize it's not going to work. It's not worth their time. Whereas they can focus more on their core business. And they hire freelancers. That's the second thing happens, especially when you see startups, small and medium businesses, small and medium enterprises. They may give jobs to freelancers. Freelancers don't understand timelines, with all due respect to them. But understanding the skills, there was a gap, and a proper agency with affordable fee structure, delivering everything. See, when we say digital marketing, it's not about posting on Facebook or anything like that. Handling the complete set of digital marketing, including creatives, including SEO, everything, we found that there are enough good agencies. So that's when we started our agency. We provide a 360-degree digital marketing services, pocket-friendly solutions suited to the objectives of small and medium business owners.
Right. So, sir, in short, can you please explain us your business model?
In short, yeah. Our business model is we do web designing. That is one part. We develop e-commerce and non-e-commerce. The second thing is the business model is we work on a retainership model. When we sign up a client, We understand their objectives. We ask more questions to figure out where they want to be after 3 years, 1 year, and all. We sign a contract and we provide them services on a monthly retainer fee. That's a business model as well as a money model, revenue model. We work on a retainer fee, and that's when it all starts. This contract usually starts with 1 year as a minimum, 3 to 5 years as a maximum scale.
Okay. So now, in addition to that, if you can just tell us who are your target customers?
If I have to be generic, every single business owner is our target customer. But when we have to drill down, there are certain industries where they can get amazing benefit. One is manufacturing companies. When I say target customers, the manufacturing companies, these companies, they manufacture, they produce amazing products, but where they stand in the market when it comes to product positioning and all, visibility and all, we take care and we deliver better results for them, which makes their distributors, dealers' job easier. We make that brand recollect happen. Second is real estate is the second target market, where we help people sell villas, flats, and plots, whatever inventory they have. We help them sell those products, sell their inventory, homes to the right audience. That's a secondary target audience. These are the two domains which we are confident and which we've been working and delivering results.
Okay. And why do you think your customers, choose your services? Why do they come to you?
Yeah, that's a very good question. There are three things we separate ourselves from others, or say we call them as USPs. Like, I come from a 2 decades of business experience, which means when we talk about a business or a product, we make business sense. We don't talk like a technology company. That's the first difference. When you hire or talk when you talk to a technology company, they usually talk with the limitations or possibilities what a technology can add to the business. We understand business, we understand clients, and we bridge the clients or prospects with the required businesses. That's the very first thing. Second is delivering results. We don't talk about increasing likes or shares or posting something. We talk about results, because the ultimate goal is revenue generation, money generation by selling products and services. That's what we do, and we commit and we deliver.
Fair enough. Why do you think a job applicant should work with you?
Wow. A job applicant, yes. There are 3 things again happens here. When you come on board, no matter how skilled you are, there is always a scope to learn better, and our company culture. 3, the growth. 1, you always have an opportunity to learn the skills, what you are good at. Again, improvising those skills. And our company culture, you would love to be in the culture, because we set that sort of a culture in our company. Third is a growth. When I say growth, not just the salary increment. It's not an annual increment. I'm talking about a 360-degree growth. And we as a team growing. It's not that the business owner is growing in all aspects. That is the one thing, if someone is looking for, is seriously hungry to deliver, like even now we have openings for content writers and graphic designers. If anyone is so hungry and passionate about growing or about the industry domain and want to grow as well, yes, most welcome. That's a reason I say candidates love to join our company.
That's great to hear. So would you mind sharing your journey quickly, where you were 10 years ago?
Okay. So 10 years ago, it's not planned, Anshu. Honestly, it's not a planned journey. It's not that when a teacher asks you in your school, you say, what do you want to be? Some say doctor, some say engineer, some say pilot. It's not like that. Mm-hmm. I have not envisioned this, but it's like connecting one dot at a time has given me a complete picture now. Even if you ask me, I was not so confident. I was not outspoken at that point in time. Now I've changed a lot. Outgrown. And even comparing to 10 years, I'm nowhere, but definitely I was not doing any job then, and I'm not doing any job. I've been an entrepreneur earlier. I'm an entrepreneur going forward also. If God permits, I'll be an entrepreneur. So I cannot say where I will be after 10 years, but definitely we'll be in global markets. Now we are in domestic market. 80% our revenues comes from domestic market, 20% our revenues comes from global. We will be definitely in a global presence. More countries, touching 100 countries would be the next 10 years goal, if you ask.
That's great to hear. So what are the products and services you require constantly for your business?
Because we might require content writing, because no matter how many content writers I have, we don't try with the one fixed content writer, because you may come up with a different domain. Every client comes with a different domain, different target audience. So content writing is the one big thing I'm looking forward for. Multiple domains I have. Someone who is good in medical, pharma, someone who is good in understanding for distribution business, someone who understands textile, garment. So these are the services we often require on a freelance basis, on outsourcing basis.
Okay. And what are the recent and long-term plans of your startup?
Okay. As I mentioned, the recent plans and long-term plans. Okay, recent plans we have a bunch of web applications. We are launching web applications and mobile apps like digital business card, a reminder and document management app, dealer and distribution management. These are the areas no one has focused yet. So we are focusing them. These are the recent, in the next couple of quarters or next 1 year, this is going to happen. And long-term goals, as I already mentioned, having presence in 100 plus countries. Yes, we are working towards that, because we don't have a geographical limitation. I'm not selling a product. Our products are like software as services. So if you have internet and a laptop, you are my client. So the long-term goal, to put it across, having our presence in 100 plus countries and having our offices in 10 plus countries.
That's great to hear. Any external funds, or do you anticipate require any external funds in the future?
Usually when we say a startup, they talk about funds. By God's grace, we are in an industry where we do not require any funds. We are bootstrapped, we are self-sufficient, and unless we want fund, and even I have a suggestion, as I'm a mentor to a couple of startups, I always say, if you don't need money, don't look for an investor. Mm-hmm. Don't build a startup to get the money, because if your business definitely needs money, you need to depend on investors. No doubt about it, and there is a great work happening out there. But if your business model doesn't require money, that much of money to spend, and you have patience to scale up by yourself, and you have a little backup of your savings or in terms of your parents, and someone is supporting you, don't look for funds. In our company, we don't anticipate any funds. We only look for collaborations. If you're great in some domain and we can work together, yes, why not? But no, not in future, not in present. We don't anticipate any requirement of funds.
Great to hear. So on which parameters do you select your vendors and suppliers? Is it price, is it quality, or is it convenience?
Oh, great. Price, quality, and convenience. Okay. Convenience. We select our vendors, the way they understand what we explain. That's a one simple rule. If you can understand, you deliver. If you are in any industry, if you can understand what I want, what I'm trying to explain, then you will definitely do, because that's what exactly we do. When we talk to a client, we understand their needs and we guide them, suggest them. And that's when our clients love us. That's exactly what I expect from my vendors. If I'm looking for a service provider, I want them to understand what we need. Let them ask as many as questions to understand better. But if they couldn't understand, I don't think, no matter how good they are in their domain, no matter whether they are specialists, or amateurs, it doesn't matter.
Great. So one last question, sir. What would be your feedback on us Startup Lanes?
Startup Lanes doing good. I really appreciate. I think you may need to change the startup to scale up lanes, because you are helping startup to scale up. So next domain yours would be scale up lines. And what I appreciate really is not just identifying, introducing these startups to other communities, not just the investor communities. You are also helping fellow entrepreneurs. You're also helping job aspirants. Like after looking at this interview or any other interview, if I'm looking for a job, I can choose the best company, because you're introducing the founder, director, directly talking about the company's culture. So you're doing great, Anshu. You and the entire team, Ashish and all, doing a great job. Keep doing it. I love you for that.